Big news for anyone looking for a government job in Uttar Pradesh. The UPSSSC has just announced a major recruitment drive. So if that's you, you're going to want to stick around. In the next few minutes, we're going to break down absolutely everything you need to know, from the key dates to the syllabus, all in one simple guide.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about the announcement itself. Then, we'll get into those all-important dates you can't miss. After that, a step-by-step on how to apply, a deep dive into the exam, and finally, we'll cover the eligibility rules. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's kick things off. The UPSSSC has officially put out the notification for its combined main examination for 2026. This is a pretty big deal, opening up positions in a bunch of different government departments all across Uttar Pradesh.
So, how many jobs are we actually talking about here? Well, the number is 115. There are 115 total posts up for grabs, and these are spread out across several departments. So there's a good variety of opportunities for people who qualify.
All right, now for what might be the most important part of this whole thing, the deadlines. You really need to pay attention here, because if you miss one of these dates, you're out. It's as simple as that.
So here it is, the whole timeline. The announcement came out on March 11th. Now, the application portal opens on April 2nd. But here's the thing you have to watch out for. It closes just 20 days later, on April 22nd. That is a tight window. After that, you get one last week, until April 29th, to make any changes or corrections.
And just so you know, we're not just pulling these dates out of thin air. This is straight from page 1 of the official notification. So you can be 100% confident that this info is accurate. Okay, you've got the dates marked down. What's next? Well, you've got to actually apply, right? So let's walk through exactly how to get your online application done step by step. We've boiled it down to 5 simple steps. First up, you'll log in with your PET 2025 registration number. Then you'll fill out all your personal and academic info. Step 3, upload your photo and signature. Step 4 is paying the fee. And last but not least, print a copy of the final form for your records. It's a pretty standard online process, really. Speaking of the fee, let's talk about the cost. It's pretty straightforward. The online processing fee is a flat 25 rupees, and that goes for everybody no matter what category you fall into.
All right, let's say your application is in and you're all set. Now, the real work begins, prepping for the exam. Let's dig into the details of the written test, so you know exactly what you're up against and what you need to study.
Check this out. It's a single written exam, 100 questions for 100 marks, and you get exactly 2 hours. That's 120 minutes to get it done. The biggest chunk here, a whopping 40 marks, is for subject-specific knowledge. Then you've got 20 marks for general info about Uttar Pradesh and 15 marks for your computer and IT skills. Now, this is a huge heads up. There is negative marking. For every single wrong answer, you will lose 1/4 of a mark, or 25%. That means you can't just guess wildly. You've got to be strategic about which questions you answer. So let's look at the syllabus. Part 1 is all about environmental topics, things like pollution control, waste management, that kind of stuff. Part 2 is your tech section. It covers everything from the history of computers and the internet to more modern things like AI, big data, and even digital finance. And as for Part 3, it's all about Uttar Pradesh. You're going to need to know its history, its culture, its geography, its economy, and this is a big one, you also have to be completely up to date on all the current events happening in the state. Okay, we're almost at the end, but don't tune out just yet. We have to cover the fine print. Let's quickly go over the most important rules and eligibility requirements to make sure you actually qualify before you go through all the trouble of applying. This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Before you invest any more time, let's make sure you meet the criteria laid out in the official notification. There are 3 main boxes you have to tick. First, and this is non-negotiable, you must have taken the Preliminary Eligibility Test, or PET, back in 2025. Your score from that test is what gets you in the door. Second, you need the right educational qualifications for the specific job you want. And third, you have to be between 21 and 40 years old. And here is a direct warning from the commission itself. They're making it crystal clear that if you share your login or application details and run into problems, that's on you. So the message is simple: keep your information private and secure. So let's do a super quick recap. What is it? 115 vacancies. When do you apply? Between April 2nd and that tight deadline of April 22nd. How? Through a 5-step online process. What about the test? It's 100 marks with negative marking. And the main rule? Your eligibility hinges on your PET 2025 score, your education, and your age.
We've definitely covered a lot today, and we know that sometimes these application forms can be a little tricky. So we want to leave you with this. If you get stuck or you just have a question about filling something out, please drop it in the comments below. We'll do our best to help you out.